YouTube. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. All right, we are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going? The sun is out. Not a bad day today. Welcome to episode number 979 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli. That's right, episode number 979 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. Live today from the SF San Francisco Bay Trail here at Bear Island in beautiful Redwood City, California, where I live. Got a great show for you folks here today. You know, we're going to be talking about focusing on a more positive lifestyle, how I did it, and how you can too. Again, we're going to be discussing focusing on a more positive lifestyle, how I did it, and how you can do it as well, right? Before we get to that, got a few updates to discuss here. I'm waiting to cross. I've got some people walking on the other side, so we're going to wait a few. It's been another phenomenal day here at the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short, also known as the GNA Network. All right, these people are just staring. Okay, they're going to go over there. So I'm going to come over here. Give me a second here. All right. Whew, yeah. Been a great day today. Wonderful day. Don and I had a great meeting with the GNA executive team of Don being the vice president and director of operations. Okay. And Santa Palacio, director of public relations, and Tia, director of special events. We're going to also be bringing on 2 more people onto the executive team. I've mentioned it before. Maybe they heard it, maybe they didn't. I'll share more about that in a few. Lots of exciting things happening at the GNA. And to become a part of it, all you have to do is just hang out here on our YouTube channels and go from there. We share everything here throughout our videos and our podcasts. We had a great conversation. I actually joined the ladies on the call for about an hour or so, maybe a little over an hour, but they were on for a total of 4.5 hours. Whew, wow. That's a hell of a long conversation. I can't remember the last time I was on the phone with somebody for 4+ hours. I can't remember the last time I even did a live stream that was that long on YouTube. I used to do those really long streams back in the days. I don't know. I don't have time for that anymore. Things have just really progressed in my life, personally and professionally, and I just... I don't know. I just don't know if I could be on the phone that long with someone. I used to enjoy long calls like that, but it's not that I don't enjoy them. I just have too much going on. So yeah, shout out to Sandra and Tia and my beautiful girlfriend, Dawn. Another note, Hot Facts with Robert Reese emailed me today. I emailed him back. And tomorrow we're going to be recording episode number 3 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast with special guest Hot Facts with Robert Reese. That's right, episode number 3 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast with special guest Hot Facts with Robert Reese will be recorded tomorrow and will be released this Wednesday. at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on the other channel. This is GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. The other channel is linked below in the description. That's GNA, Genuine Personal Development, the main channel where we do pretty much the pre-recorded stuff. And by the way, all the live streams are now officially coming back over here to GNA2. So if I do in-studio live streams, well, not if, when I do in-studio live streams by myself with Don or anyone else, they're coming back here now officially to GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. Now that the podcast is over there, we want to separate that. They all go hand in hand, but we want to separate the pre-recorded content and the YouTube shorts and all that. That's pre-recorded from the live stuff. That was the whole purpose of monetizing 2 channels in the first place. But we were not able to get that pre-recorded content going sooner as we wanted to initially. So in order to stay compliant with YouTube's terms of service and monetization policies and to remain monetized, I did the walks here and the live streams from the studio over there on that other channel. And it's all good, right? Got to be responsible, right? Got to play by the rules. Because Eli is a stickler for the rules. Oh, yeah. All right. So, yeah, I look forward to that show with my lady Dawn tomorrow and Hot Facts with Robert Reese. Oh, we got a lot of great stuff to talk about, and I really, really want to hear Robert's story. I don't think Robert's ever been on the channels over here before. It's always been going to his channels. And I've never really had a chance to, I haven't interviewed him. And I don't know if anyone's ever interviewed him out here on YouTube. Maybe, years ago when he started doing this. But this is going to be huge. This is big because, Robert is an icon in the gig economy. He's the gig economy news channel. I think he's also expanding out more towards, pop culture events, and I actually really like that about his channel. And I feel that our relationship between, him and his lady and my girlfriend Dawn and I and the rest of the GNA executive team, I really feel that it's going to blossom into something amazing and it's going to be mutually beneficial. And that's one thing we're extremely big about here at the GNA. We believe in mutually beneficial relationships. That even includes from a revenue standpoint. So, we're not greedy people. We're not looking to, collaborate with as many people as possible to leverage their network and take all their money, right, and get money for it, right, or take all the money that comes along with it. We're looking to help other people grow while we grow at the same time. We can grow exponentially together, numbers-wise, and, monetarily as well. That's the right way to do it. It takes longer to do it that way, but it's the right way. It's the more sustainable way. It's more sustainable long-term when you do things the right way. Yeah, I got a message today from the Just Amanda channel. I got a comment from her on the main channel. She said she was blocked over here. I want to address that as well real quick. I apologize to her. I responded to her in a comment on the main channel, and then she was a moderator banned her. It must have been a while back. I never noticed it because she's always been a good person. She's always had great comments, and there's really no reason why she should have been banned, but it happens. Sometimes we get trigger happy just banning a lot of people here because, we get a lot of hate and a lot of trolls. So, accidents happen, mistakes happen, and we want to apologize to you, Just Amanda. Thank you so much for giving us another chance and for letting us know, okay? We appreciate that. Also, again, letting people know that effective, I believe it was yesterday or the day before I started doing this, and this is the way it's going to be from here on out. When we do public streams, they're going to be, they've always been subscribers only chat. And it used to be that if you just subscribed, even at the moment where you subscribed, you could start chatting right away. But in an effort to, reduce trash and reduce trolls and all that bullshit, we've now increased the wait time to 20 minutes. And yes, will trolls load up their accounts before the show? Or if I say something that they want to put in the name of a new sock account, will they wait 20 minutes and do it? Sure, but it'll be far less. And we don't really want to increase it that much longer because there are people that find out about us and they want to start chatting with us legitimately. And they really shouldn't have to wait, but unfortunately, because of dumbasses on the internet, we have to do that. So just letting you folks know, subscribers only mode is on. 20-minute wait time for new subscribers. And after that, you can chat freely as long as you abide by the rules. No trolling, no hating, no attacking anyone. You can read the rules when you join the chat. YouTube shows you the channel guidelines. All right. So let's talk about focusing on a more positive lifestyle and how I did it and how you can do it as well. Okay? What I've decided to do, with the walking streams at this point, and I mean, at times we'll change things up, but I'm starting to reshare a lot of my younger stories and a lot of my mistakes that I made and objections that I had to overcome and hurdles I had to overcome as well, right? Same thing. Because a lot of those, I've shared those several times in the past, but they get buried. And, this is episode number 979. I don't expect people to go and watch all 979 episodes. Some episodes aren't even available. I think all but maybe 20 or 30 or 40 episodes are available. Who knows? I may make them. Actually, there's a few more because the ones I did on Facebook, they've been re-uploaded here, but they're set to private. Who knows? I may put those to public at some point in the future, or I might make them members only. I haven't decided yet. But there's still probably close to 900 Walking with Purpose streams publicly viewable between this channel and where they used to be before this channel got monetized 2.5 years ago, or almost 3 years ago, on the main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. So I don't expect people to go back, which is why I share stuff, over and over again from time to time. We get new people, they don't know the story, right? So, how I overcame, or how, I started to focus on, a more positive lifestyle. I mean, first of all, when I was in my teens, pre-teens, teens, and maybe not as much as I was before that time in my early 20s, I was a little bit more on the shyer, more quieter side. I mean, I did talk, but it was more on the shyer side. And, one of the main reasons, and I don't know if I've talked about it in this aspect before. I know I had talked about in the past that, throughout my life, my weight had yo-yoed plus minus 30 pounds. I always had tried to be as healthy as possible. I used to play sports in my younger days and in grammar school. Didn't play sports in high school. And, as I started to get into my high school years and stuff, I had put on like 20 or 30 pounds. You know, maybe not quite 30, maybe 20. And after that, in my early 20s, I'd gotten up to be about 30 pounds overweight, which technically isn't a whole lot, but it's still considered being overweight and still affected me. You know, it affected me, number one, because I would get tired much easier than being at the right weight level, right? But it also affected how I saw myself. It also affected, my self-confidence, especially when it came to women, because, most of us guys, most of us normal guys, we want a nice woman, but we also want a hot woman. Like we say, we want a hot woman. We want a woman that's in decent shape, right? That's proportionate, right? And in this modern world, yes, personality does matter, but even the nicest woman in the world that's attractive and has a big heart and soul, she's going to want a man that's decent looking too, that takes care of himself physically, right? Because if you don't take care of yourself physically, then it's going to affect all other aspects of your life. It's going to affect you emotionally, mentally, how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself, right? So, as I got into my late 20s, right before my early 30s, because there was a period of time in my 20s where I was like 20 to 30 pounds overweight, and I, wasn't playing sports, wasn't working out or exercising as much, and that weight just stayed on. It wouldn't drop, and I didn't even think about what I needed to do to take care of the situation, right? And I'll tell you what inspired me. A friend of mine who was more overweight than me, he was actually trying to get into the CHP Academy, CHP, the California Highway Patrol. He wanted to be a California Highway Patrolman. Now, he ended up going a different route, but, in order for him, part of him giving him the best chance to pass all the fitness tests and all that, he needed to get himself into good shape. And I can't remember the exact amount of weight he lost, but it was close to 100 pounds. And I think it was like 80 to 100 pounds. He lost 80 to 100 pounds in less than a year. And he told me, Elias, because, my friends would call me Elias. Now they'll call me Eli, because I didn't start going by Eli. Well, I didn't start going by Eli. No, I was going by Eli at that point, but not everyone was calling me Eli. So he would go, Elias, you can do it too if you need to lose a few pounds. You do the low carb diet, the Atkins diet, the low carb, right? He's like, you can eat all the meats and cheeses and proteins that you want, but you got to cut out bread and sweets and sugary sodas and all that. And I'm like, fuck, man, all this shit I love and enjoy. I got to cut out all this shit that I love and enjoy regularly. He's like, yep, or it won't work. He's right. Now, at the end of the day, it's about calories in and calories out, right? At the end of the day, it's about calories in and calories out. But you have to expend more calories than you eat, meaning that, for every 1 pound that you want to gain, you need to eat 3,500 calories over your maintenance based on your current weight, right? Based on your current height and weight, right? So if your maintenance is 2,000 calories, if you eat exactly 2,000 calories, you're not going to gain anything or lose anything. You'll stay the same. But if you eat 5,500 calories and your maintenance is 2,000 calories, that's 3,500 calories more than your maintenance. You're going to gain 1 pound that day, right? So how do you lose weight? You got to go negative 3,500. But you can't go from 2,000 calories to negative. You can't go negative 3,500 minus 2,000. You just can't do that. Hey, E-Dash, how you doing? Hello, Eli. I hope you're having a nice walk with a purpose. I just got done hiking with a purpose. Wonderful. Where did you hike at, man? Where do you hike at? Are you in California or another state? Do you have beautiful trails where you're at? We have wonderful trails here in Northern California and throughout all of California. I love this state. Love this state. Hope you love where you live too. Anyway. Hello, E-Dash. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally. Hey, babe, how you doing? Audio check? Audio and video good? Yeah, so you have to expend 3,500 calories. My lady says yes. Thank you, babe. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally, a.k.a. Dawn Leisurewood, the star of the Dawn and Eli Take on the World podcast. I'm just her sidekick. I'm just there because, you know, I got to run the tech shit. Anyway. Yeah, you know, when your maintenance is 2,000 calories and you want to lose like 10 or 20 pounds, you got to go negative 3,500, but you can't do that in one day. So what you have to do is, you know, over the course of time, you've got to eat 500 to 1,000 calories less than your maintenance. Now, I'm not going to lie. You know, I did this pretty quick because I was able to eat certain foods that kept me full longer. I switched from regular soda to diet soda with 0 calories. And there were days where I was pretty hungry. I would limit my meals to just nighttime, like maybe a few hours before bed, which they don't necessarily say that's a good thing, but that's what worked for me. I basically ate 1 meal a day. I ate low carb. Like I would have like ground beef patties smothered with ketchup. Ketchup is fine, right? With like cheddar cheese or American cheese, right? Maybe some tomato or some veggies are fine too, right? And I would limit my calories to around 1,000 calories a day. So what does that mean? If my maintenance, and that's not what my maintenance was, but I'm using these examples to make it easier to understand. If my maintenance was 2,000 calories and I wanted to lose, you know, a certain amount of weight, I would eat 1,000 calories a day. So 2,000 minus 1,000, right, is 1,000, right? But I need to release 3,500 calories total before I lose a pound. That means if I did the same thing every single day, eat 1,000 calories, and expend 1,000 calories every 3.5 days, I would lose a pound. That means every 7 days, I would lose 2 pounds. Now, it's really, really hard. Really, really hard to maintain that because I'm not going to lie. You're going to be hungry as fuck. You really are. Thanks, that respectfully, maturely, and professionally, says E-Dash. Of course. Wonderful. You're going to be hungry as fuck. And you know, there are better ways of doing this, but they take a lot longer. And here's what I notice. That the longer it takes for someone to get results, the less likely they are going to continue, you know, to push through those hard days and stay on track to keep losing the weight, right? So for me, like most people, I am results driven, right? Especially when it comes to weight loss, you want to see results. And I started to see those results because by the time I was like in my late 20s, I was tired of having 25, 30 pounds of extra weight on me. I was tired of that. And, you know, I didn't just do it because the chicks would be more attracted to me. I did it because, you know, your clothes fit better and you feel better about yourself. And, you know, it's just better when you're in better shape. You're healthier. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, you're healthier all around, right? And what did that do for me? What did that do for me? You know, I think I got down to like, I think the lowest I've ever been, has been about 160. But at that point, I had gotten down to like about 170 or so. And then people were starting to look at me and they're like, wow, you lost some weight. You're looking pretty good. Right? You start getting all these compliments. And I'm not going to lie, I'll tell you. When you start getting those compliments that you weren't getting, it gets to your fucking head. And it got to mine, but I never acted like it got to my head, but it did get to my head. Now, there's nothing wrong with letting that get to your head as long as you know that you're not going to come out and act like you're the shit. I never did that, but it did get to my head. And that's called confidence. Right? When you feel like you're getting compliments because you've turned your life around, you've lost weight, you're looking good, you're in good shape, you got clothes that fit better, right? You trim that beard, right? I started losing my hair in my mid-20s. So, towards my late 20s, I started to shave my head. My confidence started to just go through the roof. And that was the beginning of the changes that I needed to make to better myself and to start living a more positive life. I have learned hands-on the most important thing the most important thing that affects your attitude and how you treat other people is how you see yourself. Because if you lack self-confidence within yourself, right? If you feel you're ugly, like there are people, here's the thing, and this is just my opinion because some people are just happy being fat and overweight, right? I'm not trying to fat shame anyone. I'm just saying there are people that are actually happy being fat and overweight. But the majority of people that are fat and overweight, even when they say that, they're lying to themselves. They're not happy. They're just trying to cover up, how miserable they feel about themselves. They're just trying to cover that up. And you can tell when people are covering it up. You can tell the people that are okay with being fat, and you can tell the ones that are just saying it because that's all they can say, right? They try to not look bad or pathetic in front of other people. But it's very obvious when people aren't happy within themselves. For whatever reason, they're lacking that happiness, right? And all I have to say to you folks is that you can make a choice to better yourself, for yourself. And you don't do it for anyone else besides yourself, right? Like a lot of guys, they say, okay, I'm going to get in really good shape so I can plow some more pussy, right? Right? A lot of guys will think like that. They're like, oh, the better in shape I am, the better looking I am, the more girls I get to bang. That's the wrong way to look at it. Now, you're going to get more attention from females, obviously being in better shape, be better looking. But you also need to have a humble and mature and respectful personality. You have to have what's called swag, right? You got to be humble, down to earth, and mature. But you also can't be a pushover where women can walk all over you or people can walk all over you easily. And you can't be an arrogant, pompous ass. You got to be grounded, like in the middle. You got to be well balanced, right? And that's something that, my girlfriend Dawn and I are going to focus more energy to help people work through. Still GLM, I'm not happy with myself after I eat too much pizza. Welcome to the show. Hey, the show we did the other night, by the way, over 900 views. Wow. And those are legitimate views. Those were not botted views. My girlfriend Dawn, respectfully, maturely, and professionally. Hey, GLM, same. Yeah, GLM, still waiting for Team YouTube to figure out the issue with your main channel being Google blocked. Still GLM with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Raise the roof. Thank you, GLM. That's very kind of you. Wow. Well, thank you for that. Did not expect that. Wow. Much love, GLM. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much we appreciate that. Every penny counts. Yeah, we're starting to get a few super chats coming back. All right. People are feeling sorry for us, babe. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yay, thanks, girl, says. Yeah, great stream. Thank you for joining. Oh, of course. Of course. And I don't know if you saw my community posting, GLM, but that was basically, between that and I think my next stream after that, that was the last time I was ever going to, even acknowledge that particular group of people. Now, some people may say I just acknowledged them, but no, I'm not. I'm just saying, I just wanted to make sure that GLM saw that. I'm sure she did. Hopefully your day is going well. I think I'm going to do the full trail today. I am actually walking on the full trail. 32 minutes. No point in dealing with people like that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. 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 Yeah, so I really want people to start. Hang on a second. I love planes. I would really love to start seeing people focus on a more positive lifestyle, focus on creating a more positive lifestyle for yourself. And all you have to do to start heading on the right track is just own up to it, And that's the hard part. The hard part is looking at yourself in the mirror and first of all saying, I'm fucking fat, right? Whatever, right? Or if you want to change your attitude around, you need to come out and say, I'm a bitch, I'm an asshole. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and just call yourself out, because the bottom line is anyone else that calls you out on your reality is just going to piss you off. You got to piss yourself off. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and call yourself an asshole. Call yourself a bitch. You know how many times I've looked in the mirror and called myself an asshole? I can be an asshole. I can. Right? Usually when I'm an asshole, it's warranted, but there are times where it's not. And that's when I got to dig deep and accept responsibility and face reality. Because, if you know you're being an asshole and you don't own it and turn it around, then people are going to start to lose faith in you and respect in you. And they're going to stop supporting you. If you're in a relationship, your relationship will end eventually. Right? Respect is extremely important. And for me, I don't wish harm upon anyone. But if I don't respect someone, I don't want to be around them. And that even includes people here, in these chats of these live streams. I know it's YouTube. I know it's entertainment. I know it's a view, whatever. I don't care. If I can't have respect for people that are even chatting in my chat, I don't want them here. Now, I get it eventually. It'll get to a point of where when we grow this thing, we're going to have hundreds of people in here, and it's going to be much harder to moderate. That's a different story. But at least right now, where it's a little bit slower, right, and things are more apparent, we just don't want any of that negativity noticeable, right? When you grow to a certain level, you're going to have negativity, and it's harder to manage. But for as long as we can manage it, right? If we don't have respect for you, then we really don't want to be around you. That includes in the chats, right? It was so nice out today. I didn't get to the pool. Hopefully it's warm tomorrow. I want to swim. Yeah, it's a little bit cooler here at the trail because we're right by the SFB. You know that, GLM. But I'm not. I have my jacket on, but I only have one light layer below. I've done these walks throughout all types of weather and different times of the year that I know exactly what I need to wear to feel perfectly comfortable and at the right temperature. But yeah, it's been a nice day. It's been a very nice day out here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I feel blessed to live here. And yeah, just feel blessed. So yeah, and see, folks, all you have to do is look at yourself in the mirror and own it. And then start doing something about it. But again, you're not going to do anything about it until you own your mistakes, right? And, I myself, in my younger days in the past, I had difficulty owning my mistakes. I don't feel that way anymore. I was in Santa Cruz last weekend. It was so fun. We went to the mystery spot. You guys should go there if you haven't been. I've been there. Not with Dawn. I went there with one of my exes. And don't ask me which one, because I love my current woman forever. And it's no big deal. I just went there with an ex. Let's leave it at that. Good save there, Eli. Yeah, good save, right? Yeah, I've been there, GLM, and that mystery spot where they put the level on, where like it's slanted, but the level shows that it's straight, right? That was my first time. I got really cool. I got really nauseous, but it was still really cool. Yeah, it's kind of trippy. Yeah, it's kind of a trippy experience. Did you get the yellow mystery spot bumper sticker that everyone has? See, I got to tell you, that mystery spot is like in a secluded location in the outskirts of Santa Cruz. Off of Highway 17, that area. And, before I ever went there, I didn't go there until my 40s. I hadn't been there. But growing up, you drive around, you see that yellow bumper sticker, mystery spot, Santa Cruz, and I'm like, what the fuck is the mystery spot? And then at some point, you just got to go check it out. I'll take Dawn sometime. Maybe this summer, babe, we can go to the mystery spot. That's a real cheap date. At least it was just like 8 to 10 years ago when I went. I've never been, but you heard of it, babe, right? You've heard of it, right? You lived in San Jose for a while. I'm sure you have those yellow mystery spot bumper stickers with the black lettering, right? To be honest with you, the mystery spot is really no big fucking deal. Like, it's really hyped up. You got to experience it. And then you got to go to the gift shop and throw down $100, right? And I think they give you a few bumper stickers free, but you can buy more. And you go there, you buy the mugs, the shirts, and all that shit, right? It's like a little tourist trap, but you gotta go one time, especially if you live out here. And people that are from out of the area, the tourists, they go there because that's part of like their like their tour bus or their or part of their package, the package they're paying for. Sounds fun. I mean, it's all good. I mean, I mean, let's just put it this way: it's an experience. But once you go there, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, okay, that was interesting." But wow, that was really overly hyped up. I mean, I'm not trying to discourage people. You got to go. You got to go one time if you've never been, no matter where you're from. If you're in the area. Yeah, it's only $10. Thought it was really cool. You got to go, D. My God, they got to clean this sign. Or maybe it's just getting. Oh, wow. They're going to have to replace it. Look at how dirty this sign is. I remember years ago when I was doing the walks, it wasn't this bad. Wow, this thing is like. I think the salt water has destroyed it. I can go back 4 or 5 years ago when doing these streams, and this sign looked almost brand new. I hadn't even heard of it before I went, so I didn't hear any of the hype. You've never seen one. You've lived in the Bay Area all your life, right? And you're telling me you've never seen one yellow mystery spot bumper sticker. Now, you don't see them as much today. You don't see them as much today. But like I'm telling you, like, 10, 20 years ago, you would see them everywhere. You would see those mystery spot bumper stickers everywhere. I think what they were doing at one point is they're like, we'll give you a free bumper sticker if you put it on your car. Or we'll give you a few of them, a few extras. Or maybe they were saying, let's go out there and put it on your car for you. I think what they were doing is going out to people's cars and saying, hey, look, we'll give you a free mystery spot pen if we can put a bumper sticker on your car. Because people will get bumper stickers and then they just, fuck, I'll get to it. And then they never do, right? Or they just say they're going to do it and they never had the intention to do it. So they probably had some, giveaway, some small giveaway like a pen or something, if they could put a bumper sticker on your car. And that's how, that was free advertising. That's the best advertising, bumper stickers. Yeah. It's starting to chill out a little bit right now. This feels great. I look forward to going home and spending some time with my lady and the dogs, having some dinner. We've got another episode of Law and Order to watch tonight on Peacock, babe, right? We saw SVU last night, the new episode. After they canceled last week's episodes, NBC canceled new episodes of Law and Order SVU and the regular Law and Order last week because they wanted to try the new Suits LA show at a different time because the ratings tanked. But I gotta say, we saw Suits LA this week, babe, and that was probably one of the best episodes we've seen so far. So Suits LA is kind of turning around. I really like Suits LA. I do. It was kind of slow at first, but it's starting to heat up. So we got some Law and Order to watch tonight, and we've been watching that show that's been on NBC for a while called The Irrational. You still around, babe, or are you sleeping? With Jesse L. Martin. That's a great show. Don and I have seen, I think, is it 2? Yeah, we've seen 2 episodes of that show already, and there are 2 seasons to catch up on, and I believe they're still making new episodes on NBC. So lots of stuff to look forward to tonight. I'm here just also watching the game. Okay. Wonderful. You tell me, babe. Look at that sun getting close to setting. It's going to be a beautiful sunset tonight. Can't complain. Let me see here. I saw the stickers. I don't know. I didn't know what it was, or I don't know what it was. Oh well, a lot of people didn't know what I didn't know what the hell it was till I went there either. But I knew it existed because every time I would see one of those bumper stickers, like I started seeing those bumper stickers when I was a little kid, right? Now GLM, you've heard of the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, right? Like I'm sure you've been there. Anyone who's anyone that's lived in the Bay Area all their life has been to the Winchester Mystery House. I haven't been there in ages, but I believe it's still there. It's just a legendary mystery house or house of horrors, however you want to say it. And I'm talking house of horrors as in horror, H-O-R-R, right? It's H-O-R-R-E-R. Did I spell that right? Not the W version of that word, right? Yeah, I've been there a long time ago, says GLM. Gorgeous, wish I was there, but the Giants will do. Well, babe, I'll tell you, episode number 100 of Walking with Purpose. Episode number 1000. Episode number 1000 of Walking with Purpose Live is going to be coming in 21 episodes. So we're looking at probably within 3 weeks. Episode number 1000. We're going to bring you along on the walk. We'll probably do it at Red Morton Park. We'll figure it out. It's going to be a very special show. Yes, the Winchester Mystery House is still open. Yeah. You know, I wanted to talk about some other things that, you know, are going to allow you to focus, you know, on a more positive lifestyle, right? Is that Honky Tonk Man? Honky Tonk Man, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Man, tomorrow we're recording the podcast. We're recording the podcast tomorrow, which is what I'm trying to say, with Hot Facts with Robert Reese. He's going to be the very special guest on episode number 3 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. Recording tomorrow. It'll be released this Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on the other channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development, and also throughout the entire audio podcast network, including Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, which is one of my ladies' favorites, and all the rest of the ones that are even unknown. We're everywhere. And we look forward to this. This is probably going to be one of the best interviews I've ever done. Like, I just feel it. Like, Robert Reese is a very polarizing man like myself. And when I'm talking about myself, I'm saying that humbly. Give me a second here. Did you say something, Honky Tonk Man? Oh yeah, he said hi respectfully. Yeah. You should do a show from a Giants game, tailgating prior to the game. Well, I'll keep that in mind. We may have an idea. There may be an idea that Don and I might do. We will announce that down the road, but we'll definitely keep that in mind. Thank you for the suggestion. That would be fun, Honky Tonk Man. Yeah, it actually would. It would. All right. We're about to get out of the part where it curves for the last quarter mile. The sun continues to set. Its sun is falling. Traffic on the 101 is moving smoothly. It is Saturday. You see, this is how that sign should look over there. I think the salt water really fucked it up. You could barbecue and do your show. You know, dude, that it used to be much easier to barbecue back in the days where the San Francisco Giants were playing at Candlestick Park. But now, at the new ballpark, it's just more difficult to do things, you know? Let me see. What did Honky Tonk Man say there? Okay. So yeah, you know, I wanted to talk about something that you know, I had to learn as well growing up and focus on a more positive lifestyle. You know, I used to fall victim to other people's stupidity, meaning that, you know, I had some people that I thought were my friends in my younger days that convinced me to do things that were not good to do. Now, none of these things were illegal or anything like that, but they were stupid things. I'm not going to get into detail specifically. There was a lot of those situations. The whole point of me mentioning this is that, you know, you can't let people get so far into your head and make you feel like they're not going to be your friend anymore if you don't do everything they tell you to do. Because there are people out there that are going to do what is called weaponize you, right? And they're not a real friend. They're hanging around with you because they see value in getting you to do things that they don't want to do because they want to keep their hands clean and get your hands dirty. Now, here's the thing. If you allow people to convince you to do stupid things, to do their dirty work, right? And let's say it is something where it involves breaking the law or something else. If you get caught doing it, who do you think is going to pay the price for it? It's going to be you, not the person that told you to do it, right? Now, depending on how bad the situation is, you know, if it's breaking the law, they might get the original person that got you to do it as an accessory. But, you know, despite that, you're going to be the one that's going to be blamed for doing the stupid thing that you never wanted to do in the first place. And the only reason why you did it is because you want to feel accepted. You want to feel accepted, right? And, you know, I'll just say this, you know, over the last maybe 7 years to 10 years that I've been on social media, not just out here on YouTube, but even on Facebook, I've seen people weaponize other people. I've seen people get people to do things that they wouldn't do themselves. And you know why they do it? Because it's something to talk about, right? It's something to talk about. And here at the GNA, You know, we welcome anyone to join us, especially if you're going through something like this. If you feel like you're being, weaponized or forced to do something you normally wouldn't do, just because you feel if you don't do it, you're going to be kicked out of a certain group. You're going to feel all alone, right? You're going to feel, just like you're nothing without it, right? And see, people that are making you do these stupid things, they're manipulating you to feel that way about yourself. That's why it's so important to focus on, a more positive lifestyle. And that starts by focusing on bettering yourself, improving yourself, like I said, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, right? And you know what? You can always say no. And if you end up not saying no to people that are trying to get you to do stupid shit, getting you to do their dirty work for them, right? Then the real problem is within yourself. It really is. And you're not going to be alone. Because here's the thing. People that need somewhere to go. If you're somebody that feels like if you stop doing stupid shit for certain people or certain groups, you're going to be removed and have nowhere to go. When you have nowhere to go, you can always come here. You can always come here as long as you're ready to make that change. Right? As long as you're ready to make that change. Right? Right? And as long as you're not trying to weaponize us in any way and you're ready to make that change, you're more than welcome here. That's a huge part of what the GNA is about. I'm getting hungry. I haven't had really much to eat today. Yeah, like I said, I used to always feel like I had to do things, especially more so back in my younger days. I always felt like certain people wouldn't want to hang out with me if I didn't do certain things that I really didn't feel comfortable doing. And I ended up doing some of those things. And did it make a difference? No, because all those people wanted to use me for is to keep doing those things, right? Because they didn't want to get their hands dirty, right? And then after it happens many times, you start to see a pattern. You start to see a pattern. You start to see these people not being your friend, not being there for you when you need them, but you're always there for them when they need you, right? Just think about it. Real true friendships are a two-way street. They are a two-way street. Give and take on both sides. And a real friendship, you will never feel like you have to do something stupid or something that makes you feel uncomfortable to be accepted as part of that friendship. So you have to ask yourself, if you're in a situation where you feel like if you don't stop doing things that make you feel uncomfortable just to feel acceptance by other people, you have to ask yourself, is that worth it? Are they real friends, right? Or are they just using me? Are they just weaponizing me, right? I've been weaponized many times in my younger days by, it typically happened like, sometimes it happened in high school when I was like a freshman or sophomore by a junior or senior, or by junior or seniors, or juniors or seniors, which is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I said that wrong. And now, you're younger back then, so, you aren't as experienced in life to really even understand what's happening. But even after it happens a few times, at that point, you start to see the pattern. And then when you get older, you can look back and say, oh, shit, yeah, it's the same pattern, right? And then after a while, when people keep trying to push you to do things you're not comfortable to do, and they realize you're not a pushover anymore because they're going to keep trying, then you're going to keep saying no or ignoring them, then they stop eventually, right? That's what happens. But if you're the one that's allowing people to push you over, you can turn that around. And if you're dependent on your happiness hanging around with people like this, feel otherwise you would have no friends. Like I said, you will always have friends over here at the GNA. There are other people that would accept people like you. And we would accept you with no obligations. Again, we would accept you with no obligations. 100% says E-Dash. Tell me a little bit more. What about made you say that? What made you say that? Like, what was that about? Just curious, brother. How many of you folks are looking forward to the Hot Facts with Robert Reese podcast, episode 3 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast? Again, it'll be recorded tomorrow, released this Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on the other channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. Give me a second. Okay, awesome, E-Dash. I got to tell you, I really, really enjoy these, life lesson type of topics. This is right up my alley. This is, what I feel most comfortable doing. There are times when I've done content many times over the years where I've gone off the rails. It's happened, right? And most of it was warranted, but even though it was warranted, it still didn't feel good. I didn't enjoy it. Some people think I enjoy when I'm in that state, that heightened state or that dramatic state, right? And no, I don't enjoy it. What I enjoy is this mellow state, a relaxed and peaceful state. E-Dash says, hold on, I'm having a hard time seeing that. Hang on a second here. I'm having a hard time seeing the message. E-Dash, give me a second. All right, there it is. A friendship is mutual, and there is no one-sidedness in a real friendship. Yeah, real friendships are a two-way street. They're mutually beneficial. And you aren't in that friendship to try to take from each other. You're in that friendship to give, right? Another thing that, I want to discuss, maybe we'll talk about this tomorrow, like give to give, not give to get, right? And the theory behind all that, right? Give me a second, I'll be right back. All right, we are back live. We are back live. Can you folks hear me and see me clearly again? Sorry about that. Yeah, the temperature's starting to drop. We're now hitting like the low 60s, high 50s. Honky Tonk Man with the thumbs up, thank you. And respectfully, maturely, and professionally, my girlfriend Dawn says yes. My lovely lady, right? Yeah. I keep getting a few text messages from people that can bypass my do not disturb list. So sorry about that. I have do not disturb on when I'm doing these shows, but I have a few people, family, and Dawn, she's family too, but Dawn as well can bypass that for emergencies, But these are not emergencies. You can see the notification pop down like while you're live, and you're like glancing at, it's not an emergency. Shit, I'll get back to them later. Not a big deal. If it was, I'd be gone. I'd be out. I'd be running like fucking hell to the exit, which is still about 3/4 of a mile, or 3/4 of a mile away. What a beautiful night. I can't complain. Being in a relaxed and peaceful state, that's another topic we need to do. Because, like I said a second ago, I don't enjoy being in a dramatic mood. I don't enjoy raging at people or just getting in people's faces, even if I feel I'm right, even if I am right. Right? And a lot of people love that. Even some people that follow us here, they like a combination of both. They like some rage, and then they like the calm shit too, right? I mean, I've grown to learn people like a variety of things, right? Or they just want you to be real, and I get that. We all have moments, right? All I'm saying is that I'm at my best in a relaxed and peaceful state. I'm at my best when I'm talking about personal development, self-help, personal improvement, self-improvement topics, because that's what I feel good about. That's what I enjoy, right? And it doesn't matter if there's less traction on these types of streams, right? Because it's what makes me feel good. It's what I enjoy doing. It's right up my alley. It's within my wheelhouse. E-dash with the A-OK. Man, I'm really getting hungry right now. Got a busy day tomorrow, We've got a dentist appointment for Dawn tomorrow, and then the show, and between that time, I got to do my beard. My beard's beginning to look a little scruffy. I own it. I don't care. It is what it is, right? And that takes me a little over an hour between shaving my head, trimming my beard, applying the Just for Men. Then you got to go in the shower and you got to wash it off properly and use the proper shampoo and conditioner and all that, right? There's a lot of work that goes into it. You think looking handsome is easy? that was horrible, man. I think my woman will probably be laughing at that one, right? You think looking handsome is easy? The word handsome is making a comeback, right, babe? Babe, let me ask you a question. In your eyes as a woman, Do you feel there's a difference between calling a man hot and handsome, or is it the same thing? Just curious to get your opinion on that if you're listening and not distracted by the Giants game. Let's see, we are at 70 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes. It's different, okay. 70-24. So a hot guy would be a guy you'd bang for one night, and then a handsome guy is one that you would bring home to mom, right? Is that the way it goes? Did I nail it? You know, another thing, when you're focusing on, you know, becoming a more positive person, when you're focusing on becoming more positive. I forgot what I was going to say. I had something very important to say. I'll get back to it. Hot guys don't usually have a personality. Oh, okay. That's true. They just want to bang. Right? Yeah, that's terrible. Terrible. Yeah. I had something very important to say and it slipped my mind. I'm sorry. I'm having one of your moments, babe. Having one of your moments. Maybe it's because I'm starving right now. It's all right. I'll make it off the trail and come home for some great dinner. We got people, look, they're walking on my side of the trail. So I'm just going to pull over to the side and wait for them to pass. I think they're from like a different country where they walk on the left and pass on the right. Yeah, one of them's taking pictures. It's all good. There's a beautiful shot over there of Highway 101. You got the courtyard by Marriott over there. It's just in a nice secluded location over here at Bear Island. I mean, if I didn't live out here and I was going to visit, that's where I would stay, right there, the courtyard. It's a beautiful hotel. Not cheap, but just really nice. When I did DoorDash and Uber a few years back, like 2.5 years ago, I had a few deliveries there. I'd never been in there before, even though I live out here. I had no reason to. And their elevators are very nice. Their room doors are very nice. Their rooms are very nice. The bar's nice. You know what, babe? We should probably go over to the courtyard by Marriott. We should see when they have some specials. I'm sure they have some specials for locals. I'd want to stay at Nia. Oh, that nice hotel like near East Palo Alto or Palo Alto. That one over there, babe. Who are your favorite Giants players over the years? Favorite one? Barry Bonds. Mr. Steroids. Mr. 73 homers. I had Barry Bonds on my fantasy team the year he hit 73 homers. And everything in between that. You know, obviously, you know, I'm a big Kruko fan. And, you know, Mike Kruko is still broadcasting along with Dwayne Kuiper for the Giants. They've been doing it over 30 years, you know, since they retired. Now, I believe Kuiper retired long before Kruko did. Kruko's been retired, shit, for like what, 35 years or so, and I think he's been broadcasting just as long, or since that time. I think it's like 35 years, babe, 30 plus 35 years or so. Mike Kruko is fantastic. Remember back in the days, we had a guy named Kevin Mitchell who caught a ball barehanded. He had a barehanded catch. I think that was in Chicago when he did that. Oh, Matt Williams and Will Clark? Yeah, William Nushler Clark, yeah. Actually, didn't they retire Will Clark's number, babe? It was like almost 2 years ago. Like about a year and a half or so ago, we saw the ceremony on NBC Sports Bay Area, our local regional sports network, where the Giants are on. Yeah, Matt Williams was great too. Jose Uribe, Will Clark, Candy Maldonado back in those days. I forgot Buster Posey, Crawford, yeah. I mean, those are the guys in the latter years. We're going way back with the other ones, but I mean, for Christ's sake, my girlfriend named her dog Bochy after former Giants manager Bruce Bochy, and named her little dog Buster after Buster Posey, the former Giants catcher. And now isn't Posey like the general manager now, babe? Like Posey's like the general manager of the Giants or something like that? He's in some high administrative position. I mean, I gotta tell you, like Buster Posey he's not only a stud, but he's like he's such a nice dude. He's like and he's not a pussified dude. You know, I hate using the word nice guy because it sounds like they finished last, but he's a nice guy that doesn't finish last. He's just a really well-respected, decent dude, humble dude that could have played at least another 5 years and retired early to be with his family. He is handsome. Oh, okay. I love it when my woman says other men are handsome, but I'm mature enough to handle that, right? I'm mature enough to understand that it's being done in a very respectful way, not in a sexualized way like people take things out of context, right? Different than hot, dummy. I know. Well, now you call me dummy. It's okay, I am a dummy. I can be a dummy, it's okay. Yeah, Jose Uribe. Ooh, Uribe. God, there were just so many great players over the years. You know. Oh, we had Dave Dravecky. Remember Dravecky? Dravecky was the dude that blew out his arm. No, I believe that was Dravecky. I believe that happened in Montreal, in Canada, you know, playing the Expos. And then the ultimate thing, oh, Benito Santiago, yeah, Benny Santiago, yeah. And remember the Black and Decker combination? Steve Decker and Bud Black, right? That was great too. Sergio Romo. And then he went to, I believe, the Dodgers after that. Go to a Giants-Dodgers game. Yeah, I used to go to the Giants-Dodger games when the Giants were at Candlestick Park. Those were crazy, man. I tell you, those were crazy, man. People would fight in the bleachers. Dodger fans were there because, you know, I've actually been to a Giants-Dodger series at Dodger Stadium at Chavez Ravine. I got to say, Dodger Stadium is probably one of the last few original classic ballparks. I mean, they've done some renovations to it, but they've pretty much kept the original authentic feel of the ballpark. It's a beautiful ballpark. That could be dangerous. Bobby Bonds? Yeah. Yeah, Sergio Romo? Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm sure Robert Reese is a Dodgers fan, babe. I mean, he lives down there. And I can't blame him for that, but you know, I've matured a lot since those days. I used to say, Dodgers suck and fuck you Dodgers and fuck LA. I remember like there were times back in those days like you couldn't swear on TV at all, right? You can get fined by the FCC, but you'd watch these Giants games on KTVU Channel 2 back then. Back then they didn't broadcast a lot of home games on Channel 2. And every now and then they would broadcast one, and you would hear the Giants fans chant, fuck LA, fuck LA. It was like, and you could hear it clearly on regular TV back in those days. And it was like, yeah, man, fuck LA, man. But it's like you grow up and you're like, LA has some beautiful aspects, and, yes, it's our rivalry, and we can have a little fun, but it's like I just don't feel the rage I used to feel. I used to really, really hate the Dodgers. I used to hate LA. I mean, it was really bad. I have a shirt that says, "Stay calm and hate the Dodgers." Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will take the Giants over any team, including LA, and it's still the rivalry. But the Dodgers don't trigger me like they used to in my younger days. I think I've grown up and matured a little bit. Maybe I'm no fun anymore. Whatever, it is what it is. Somebody's moving out of there. North Star moving. Start getting to your final questions, comments, or concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in just about 5 minutes or so, or maybe even a little less. Yeah, I feel really good about today's show as well. Another great show. Just waiting for that car to pass. Another great show, and I'll tell you this, I love coming to the trail because it's much more peaceful than Red Morton Park. But sometimes when time is limited, you got to do what you got to do. But I love coming over here than sometimes grabbing food or cooking at home and coming home. Looking forward to coming home and spending time with the dogs and my lady. No better feeling than that. That's why, having the right partner in life, at least for me, makes all the difference. It does. I don't know of anyone who wouldn't have or who wouldn't want to have a good partner in life to come home to after, a nice hard day at work, or not even hard day. This is easy stuff, but this is part of what I do for work. But I also just enjoy doing it to do it. Great show, Elias says E-Dash. Thank you, E-Dash. I really appreciate that. Are you going to be checking out the Hot Facts with Robert Reese interview when we release that? How many of you are interested in the Hot Facts with Robert Reese interview? This is going to be hot, man. This is going to be good stuff. I mean, I hope we can get it done in 2 hours. I have a feeling we're going to go a little over, but we're going to try to keep it 2 hours. I mean, the first show between Don and I went almost 2 hours, an hour and like 58 minutes. And the second show with Tia, Sandra, Don and I went 2 hours and like 12 or 13 or 14 minutes, something like that. If you haven't checked out episode number 2, you can go to the main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development, if you want to watch the video version. Now, if you don't have YouTube Premium and you want to listen to the audio only, You won't be able to do that unless you have YouTube Premium. You can do that if you go over to one of the podcast, audio only versions on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and the many various others. You can find out where our podcast is at by just doing a Google search for Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. And you can find it on one of the podcast networks there. And you can stream it. You can stream the audio only version of it. Even in your car without having to pay for YouTube Premium for background play. Now, I like YouTube Premium, so I pay for it, but some people may not want to. We're giving you more options to check out the podcast. But the best experience, in my opinion, is watching the video version on YouTube. And you can see the participants. At least you can see Don and I, and we leave it optional if our guests want to come on video through the StreamYard that we use, or audio only. But it's time to go, folks. 86 minutes, an hour, and 26 minutes. We're leaving 29 in the box. 6 thumbs up. Thank you again, GLM, for the $4.99 super chat. Good. You'll catch the end of the game, says my lady, respectfully, maturely, and professionally. Yeah. Time to go. With that being said, have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.